Hi, so wie geht's? How are you doing, Pi?
Should I answer in German or English? Me,
English, please.
I'm very good. I'm very good, thank you. I am in a bit of a interview marathon, if you will. But voice is holding up. I have Chinese throat drops. I'm
Yeah,
good. How are
you
you?
were in China last weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago, yeah,
Yeah,
it was really nice.
yeah, and soon you are going to Brazil again.
Yeah, I was gonna say next week, but it's not really next week, but we're flying already next week because it's a whole tour.
You
Yeah,
have a lot of shows, right? So, first of all, thank you for your time and for your interview with us. My name is Edi Fortini. I'm a collaborator from the Headbangers Brazil, and you all have a lot of fans in Brazil, as you might know. And I have a personal, very few friends that are coming from other states, and so just to see you guys. So it's a huge privilege to talk to you, and I'm a big fan of Lord of the Lost as well. I live in Germany, but but I came from São Paulo, so I have a lot of friends there that are coming to see you.
yeah. I was gonna ask about your Amphi t-shirt.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, you been there?
yeah,
Okay,
of
yeah,
course.
okay. We'll
I
come
am
back.
also
Yeah,
I am also a concert photographer, so I've done
right.
a few gigs of you guys.
Sweet. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So first of all, Brazilian fans has a lot of questions to get to know from you.
Sure.
Uh, First of all, what were your expectations to go to Brazil in the first time that you went there? And what are your expectations now in the second time that you are coming?
I mean, the first time when you go somewhere for the first time, you don't really know what to expect because I mean, obviously it's a festival, so there will be people if you want it or not, but those people might be waiting for the band after you or the bands after you. Who knows? So we didn't know except for the comments on social media. Come to Brazil. We didn't know if there would be people, yeah, waiting for us. Turns out they are. And obviously, I expect all of them to be there this year as well. Um, no, I'm really looking forward to it, and I had no expectations this time that I know the festival and we actually have some spare time in Sao Paulo. I expect it to be a very easy, very relaxed few days in Sao Paulo, and I'm really looking forward to the festival because the last time we were there 2 years ago, it was a really good one, and we had a good time. The hospitality was great, and we had a good show. It was wonderful. It was amidst all the Eurovision chaos. So when we were done there, we flew back and immediately flew to Liverpool. So um, I'm I'm very happy that this year we can do it with a bit more or a bit less, yeah, worries, so to speak, in our heads, like worrying already about the next thing. We don't have to do that this year, which is nice.
Good. Eurovision is such of a marathon, right?
Mhm. Yeah, much more of a press marathon than anything else. So it was quite interesting. Yeah.
But good to know that you have some days off to enjoy São Paulo, and I hope that you have a really good time there. People are very kind. There are a lot of beautiful places for you to visit. I hope that you have a good time there.
Yeah, thank you. I think so.
Yeah. hmm and how are your feelings about playing on one of the main stages in the Banger Fest, right in this fest?
I didn't know that we are.
Yeah.
But thanks for telling
Be
me.
aware that you are playing on
Well,
the main stage
yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
that's good. I mean, I enjoy playing on big stages. I also enjoy playing on small stages, but obviously it's tied to some honor that you're being honored that you are able to play on the main stage, which is really nice. I mean, it's always when you start out as a band, and I always see us as a starting out band when we go to a new country. We've never been there. We're one of the smallest bands most of the time. Um, and you can kind of see yourself growing year by year when you're, or year by every 2 years when you're on the festival again, where your slot will be. And it always shows you that you must be doing something right when you get to play on a bigger stage or later in the day or whatever. And it's really, really cool. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you are playing, I think that right after lunch in Brazil.
Oh, cool.
And the opposite, you will close the Amphifest this year.
Mhm.
I was
Yep.
so glad to know about that.
Yeah, same. I mean, we've been to the Amphi Festival this year a lot. We have been to the Amphi Festival a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing. Every time the slot got a little bit later in the day. And last time we were co-headlining, and this year we will be headlining the Amphi Festival.
Yeah, so good to know. Mainly because I will be there.
Ah, nice. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lord of the Lost is known as a band that is always in process of changing, sound changing, idea changing, mind changing, and everything. And that what it's so cool about it, that it's so great. And what can we expect about the new album, Opus Noir? And how did the band draw the inspiration from it? How it's gonna be the process?
Hmm. I mean, you've probably seen some things by now. You listened to the first single, My Sanctuary, and you've seen basically, I guess, that everything's a bit darker again. I mean, obviously, the album artwork is gray or silver and black, and the
Good.
title is Opus Noir. So I guess it kind of suggests where this is going, and to be a bit more thorough on that, it's much more melancholic as opposed to, for example, Blood and Glitter, which was a very vibrant, colorful album. This isn't one, at least not in like, speaking of the saturation of everything, it's very, very bleak at times, very sinister. However, it's not something that is necessarily sad or, yeah, horrible. It's mainly, and that's where the inspiration came from. It's a look inwards to ourselves. It's much more a look into our own, much more hidden places, like darker places in ourselves, so to speak. So
Our sanctuaries.
yeah, it can be sanctuaries, can be also very, very scary places.
Yeah,
But it's always important to yeah, to get to know these places. And that was mainly the inspiration for that. And what came out of it was like this, yeah, 33 song, 3 volumes album, if you will. And I'm really looking forward to playing the songs live, seeing what people have to say about it. Obviously, there are only from the first single and the artwork, there are already people like, yeah, Lord of the Lost are back again. They're goth again. And I'm always like, we've always been ourselves. Now that you talked about the change, we've always been ourselves because change is one, if not the most important part about our band, because we see Lord of the Lost as basically our own little playground. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do because it's our band. Um, and that's what we're doing. And if we want to be red and gold, we will do that. If we want to be pink, all of a sudden we will be doing that. I can tell you right now. But right now we want to be this. And I think it's very liberating to be able to let ourselves be able to do that, whether or not people will follow. I think it's totally fine if people won't follow everything that you do as a band, which I don't with my favorite bands. Um, but I think also change is necessary for us to grow in every certain aspect. So, yeah, I think that answers the question. I don't know. I hope.
Yeah, sure, sure. And from your side, what fans can expect? More solo, more riffs? How it's going to be from your side?
From the guitar player side,
Yeah.
um, I have to say the album is very, very guitar driven. I,
Mm-hmm.
I, in retrospect, I realized that the album is very, very guitar driven. However, it's also very epic in its orchestral sense. Um, I think I think there are more guitar solos scattered across the volumes as on any other album, I think, without counting them, but I think so. Um, yeah, and guitar playing wise, now that we're two guitarists in the band, it's
Mm-hmm.
also, at least that's my feeling, it's way more intricate. It's a challenge, guitar wise, which is really, really fresh and nice. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. And last year was a crazy year for Lord of the Lost. There was the how a lot of shows happening, a lot of things happening. The post Eurovision thing was really crazy. I saw, I follow you guys on social media, and there are a lot of things to follow too. And how did you manage in this crazy thing to prepare a third part album with a lot of um, guest singers and guest musicians and to hold on all the things that you done in the band? How can you prepare and do that all together?
First of all, I have to say that the internet connection was gone, so I only got the last bit of your question. So if you could rephrase that, that would be
Ah,
nice.
sure, sure. Last year was very crazy for Lord of the Lost with a lot of shows and interviews and etc. How did you manage to prepare the third part album with a lot of guests, musicians and singers and everything? How could you prepare for that?
Well, it always starts with we want to do it, so we got to find a way to do it and find time to do it. And quite naturally, because we had 2023 as such a crazy year where there was no time for anything, um, we found ourselves in 2024 with also a lot of touring. As you said, we played a lot, but we didn't do as many of these side quests like all the press stuff. We didn't have as much because we didn't put out anything. Did we put out something? Yeah, Weapons of Mass Seduction. Seduction. Yeah, but that's a cover album. Doesn't really count. Um, Other than that, there wasn't for our band. There wasn't that much going on. So we had a lot of shows, but when we were at home, we were able to be at home and actually focus on new stuff. And already, I think in 23, the thought has grown that in 2024, we want to write another album wi- without knowing what it's going to be. But obviously, you then schedule time to do that. So it's a bit about planning. It's a bit about actually having time to do so. Um, and obviously the wish to do it. Otherwise, if you don't have the motivation to do it and you set yourself out to be like, let's go, let's do it, I don't think it would have happened. But we wanted to write another album.
So good that you did.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And in a recent post, you told that you would like to practice your Spanish in the Spanish-speaking countries, obviously, and
Yeah.
you had no idea about Portuguese. So, do you have in mind right now something that you want to learn how to say in Portuguese?
I think one of the most important things is always being thankful. So thank you. I think it's obrigado. Obrigado.
Obrigado, ja, genau.
I know that one, but
Good.
that's about it. I have no clue about anything else.
Anything else you would like to learn today?
Um, I mean, basically, hello, how are you? Is always goes a long way.
Yeah. Como estão?
¿Cómo estoy?
A little bit similar to Spanish,
Very
but
soon. ¿Cómo estás? Sí.
como estás? Como estão?
¿Cómo
Plural.
estoy?
Como estão?
Estado. Okay.
Good, good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that already goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a easy language, as of course German.
German is horrible to learn.
Yeah, but it's funny also.
Yeah.
And um, talking about Pi's career right now, what do you want and what do you need to achieve next in your career? I mean, you have your slice of pie, you have your podcast with your fiance and etc. What would you describe as is missing for you to achieve yet?
Missing. Um, I always try to focus on n not what's missing, but what I have, which is not always working out. But for me personally, I think I could, or I should, I wanna do way more music in general. Not only Lord of the Lost, even though we are already doing a lot of music, we are putting out a lot of music. But I think when you are so caught up in one thing, which is a good thing, sometimes you don't have the time to yeah, focus on other parts that also make you a musician. Um, so yeah, writing more music, whether it be for Lord of the Lost, for myself, for other bands, that is something that I really like to work on. Other than that, Slice of Pie, the YouTube channel, that's just for fun. That has nothing to do with anything career related. That's just for
So
fun.
cool.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I enjoy that you're saying that, but that is just for fun. And the podcast, that is also just for fun, and that's mainly when we have like guests over. I enjoy the part that the podcast that we talk in the podcast is the smallest part of everything. For example, when we had Falk from Powerwolf, we talked in the podcast for I think 2 hours. I think he was here at our house for 12 hours or something. So the podcast with the output that it has is always also a good reason to just invite people and have a good time with them. So podcast is fine, YouTube channel is fine, music, there's always room for more. Um, yeah, I don't want to want too much.
Yeah, that's a good thing nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for your time. I think we are closing this interview soon.
Mhm.
Do you want to leave a message to your Brazilian fans? Do you want to say something to them?
Obrigado, obrigada for everything. Also, if you are at the Bangers Open Air in Sao Paulo, I want you to know that I enjoy circle pits and mosh pits a lot. So if I could see one, that would be very cool.
Yeah, I think that
Yes.
Brazilian fans are really motivated to that.
Yeah, I think so too. I can see
Yeah,
that happening.
we will pass your message because we are very committed that more Brazilian people know Lord of the Lost.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's nice.
Yeah, thank you for your attention. And for me, I'll see you at Amphifest.
Yeah, perfect. See you at Amphi.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.